Hi, welcome back to part 4 of this tutorial. In previous videos for this tutorial we set up a LAMP stack with Ubuntu 16.04 and we logged in remotely using the SSH protocol. We installed guest editions for Oracle's VirtualBox and we configured settings for PHP 7 and MySQL. In this video, we will finish our LAMP stack setup by installing PhpMyAdmin and installing XM4 as a mail transfer agent, and then Ajenti for server administration. This is where I left off in the previous video. The last thing we did in part 3 was to set up a connection to our database hosted on Oracle's VirtualBox. I can use my MySQL workbench shown here to monitor, design, and manage my databases remotely. What we will do now is install PhpMyAdmin on my server. PhpMyAdmin is a web-based database client, which lets you create, alter, drop, delete, import, and export MySQL database tables. This tool is recommended only in a development environment, so go over to your command line interface. I am logged in to the server remotely over SSH from my Mac terminal screen. If you are on a Windows machine, then you can use the PuTTY application to connect remotely from your PC. And there are instructions on how to do that in part 1 of this series of videos. You can see that I'm connected on the Linux server because the hostname here is the name we assigned to the server in part 1. Right, so let's get started. We will install PhpMySQL with the command sudo space apt-get space -y space install space PhpMyAdmin, and this will launch the package configuration for this application. PhpMyAdmin is a PHP application that provides a complete interface to manage MySQL databases over the web. It relies on a PHP-enabled web server to send commands to MySQL server and receive data from the server. Our web server is Apache 2. Spacebar to select and tab to OK. Next, you are asked to configure the database with dbconfig-common. Select Yes. You are asked for MySQL application password for PhpMyAdmin. Leave it blank and press Enter. It will automatically create a random password. Now to configure the client to automatically log in. You must not do this on a production server since it's going to make it easier to access your database using PhpMyAdmin without entering a username and password. So type in sudo edit space -etc -phpmyadmin -config.inc.php. Now in the editor use Ctrl+W to search for authentication type. Now where you see authentication_type equals, change cookie to config. To save our root password in the config, use Ctrl+K to cut the line. Use Ctrl+U 3 times to paste in place. Now change the next duplicate line to user equal root. And the line below, change it to read password equal root. Use Ctrl+X to exit and Y to save and return. So now we can launch PhpMyAdmin from a web browser with the link http://techbox.dev:8080/phpMyAdmin. And here is the home page for the application. The available databases are listed on the left. On the right-hand side, you can see our web server type and information about our web server and PHP installation. Across the top is a list of options. For instance, the SQL tab, where you can type in SQL commands and see the results. Next, we're going to use a simple message transfer agent to send our email from our server. So we can use a free application called XM4, which we will install now. Type in sudo space apt-get space -y space install space XM4. By default, XM4 is set up for local email delivery only, no emails to remote domains. So once it is installed, you need to reconfigure the package. So type in now sudo space dpkg dash reconfigure space exim4 dash config, and this will launch the package configuration wizard. It will prompt you to start the mail server configuration. Click OK, then choose Mail sent by Smart Host, received via SMTP or fetch mail. OK. Using your ISP's mail server can prevent rejection on receiving servers because of anti-spam measures. For the system mail name, enter your host name, techbox.dev. Next, you are prompted for IP addresses to listen on for incoming SMTP connections. Enter 127.0.0.1 semicolon colon colon 1. For other destinations for which mail is accepted, use your host name. Machines to relay mail for, leave this blank and OK. For IP addresses or host name of the outgoing smart host, type in replace the default with smtp.gmail.com colon colon 587. Hide local mail name in outgoing mail. Select No. Keep number of DNS queries minimal. Dial on demand. Select No. Delivery method for local mail. Choose mbox format in /var/mail/. And finally, you are asked if you want to split configuration into small files. And to that, answer No. Now we will provide a Gmail account and password. I set up a new Gmail account to use for testing XM4, and that is what I will use to configure the target mail server. Then, to edit the configuration for the client, type in sudo space nano space /etc/xm4/password, spelled passwd, .client. Under the last command line, type start.google.com : I'm typing your account here as a placeholder to show you where to enter your actual Gmail account at gmail.com : and then enter your actual password for your Gmail account. Press Ctrl X to save, Y to accept, and enter. Since this file contains sensitive account information, you should check the file access rights. Once you edit the password.client file, run sudo space update-xm4.conf, which will integrate your changes into your xm4 config. And now stop and restart the service. Sudo space invoke-rc.d space xm4 space restart. Reboot the server. Type in sudo space reboot. Now type in sudo space xm4 space -qff. The QFF parameter forces a delivery attempt for every message, whether frozen or not. That's the setup for mail transfer on our server, so we should test that it works by sending a very simple email from the command line. Type in echo space test space only space pipe space mail space /s space in inverted commas something like test subject, whatever you want. And then enter your actual email address in place of your account at gmail.com. You should receive the email from the server. In case you don't see it, check your junk folder. You can also check the xm4 log file located at /var/log/xm4/mainlog if you haven't received it. But it worked fine for me. If you open the email, you will see that the from address in the email header is the Gmail account, which you configured in your /etc/xm4/password.client. Finally, we will finish this server configuration by installing Ajenti control panel. Ajenti is an open source web-based control panel that can be used for a large variety of server management tasks. Again, this is a great tool on your development server, but not recommended for a production server. Before you can install Ajenti, I recommend you install Python. So the first command here is sudo space apt-get space install space Python. Ajenti depends on Python support packages, so download and install with the command wget space http colon //launchpadlibrarian.net /109052/632 python support underscore 1.0.15 underscore all.deb, and follow that with sudo space dpkg space dash I space python support underscore 1.0.15 underscore all.deb. So now when I tried to do the Ajenti install, I did get an error here. And the problem turned out to be another prerequisite that we need to include. So Ajenti requires Ubuntu Precise Pangolin. So I followed these instructions from the Ajenti knowledge base, and you can see the web page here. First thing we'll need to do is to add the permission to the package manager for the third-party software repository. Type in wget space http colon //repo.ajenti.org /debian /key space -o space pipe space sudo space apt -key space add space dash. Once permission is granted, we can include the repository in the list of available software sources. So now type in, or cut and paste from the web page, echo space in quotes deb space http colon //repo.ajenti.org /ng /debian space main space ubuntu and close quotes space pipe space sudo space t, that's tee space -a space /etc apt /sources.list. Okay, now that we've got a new list of sources, we need to update the list of available packages. So type in sudo space apt-get space update space and two ampersand symbols sudo space apt-get space install space Ajenti. And this time when I go to install Ajenti, it works no problem. I could restart the service now, but I want to point out here that Ajenti will listen to HTTPS on port 8000 by default. The default username is root and the default password is admin. We will use this information to open port forwarding on the virtual machine and for logging in when we use the Ajenti service for the first time. There is a small fix we need to make to control how the Ajenti dashboard is rendered. Type in sudo space nano space /user /lib /python 2.7 /dist -packages /socket.io /handler.py. Find the line that says access-control-max-age and make sure that the number 3600 is inside double quotes. On the Oracle VirtualBox, go to Settings, Network, Port Forwarding. Add a new rule and call it Ajenti. Port 8000 on the host and for the guest port 8000 again. Click OK and OK. So to restart everything, I'm going to type in a command to shut down everything. Sudo space shutdown space -h space now. From the Oracle VirtualBox, restart the virtual server called TechBox. Once the system has rebooted, Go over to a browser and type in https://techbox.dev:/8000. The first time you connect, you will get a warning message like this: your connection is not secure. To allow access, click Advanced and Add Exception and Confirm Security Exception. Ajenti will ask you for the username and password, so you recall the default login details that were generated in the installation process. The user is root, the password is admin. And there you have it. The Ajenti dashboard is up and running. That's the final part of our tutorial completed. Now we have a LAMP stack set up with Ubuntu 16.04, Apache 2, MySQL, and PHP 7. With secure shell communication, PhpMyAdmin, XM4 for sending out emails from the server, and Ajenti for managing the server. I hope these 4 videos helped you set up the system you need for your work, and I'd love to hear how you got on, so leave me a comment. Bye for now, and good luck.